It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Happy Friday morning. Happy Halloween morning. More importantly, or as we called it in my house, Dad's birthday. It's always easy to remember that one. All we ever had to do is hand over all of our Mary Jane candies, and he was happy.
Nice.
Oh, really? The gross ones?
Yeah,
That's an
love
easy
those
way
Mary
out.
Janes.
I talked to Jim and Jaska. Said he uses those as a repellent for teenagers who come to trick or treat at his house.
My dad was a depression kid. He didn't have a high bar when it came to little nougaty, chocolatey, yummy treats. He was like, no,
Sure.
give me that thing that tastes like sawdust.
Pretty much.
It's kind
Not
of
far off.
That was more his bag. They do still exist, for the record.
Really?
It's a peanut butter and molasses is actually what that is. That combination we all savor, peanut butter and molasses.
Yeah, it's definitely got a taste of asses, that's for sure.
You could still find them out there, but again, as always, make sure your fillings are secure. I'm very excited about the day for a variety of reasons, but mostly because I'm dying to know what's happening in the world. I'm feeling Minnesota, Paul Fletcher, so please, some headlines.
All right, given the day that it is, maybe you have, maybe you haven't heard about the Jack-O-Lantern Spectacular at the Minnesota Zoo. It's an annual event featuring a 1-mile-long, one-way walking trail lined with over 5,000 badass carved and illuminated pumpkins. I bring it up. It's been going on for a couple of weeks, but tonight is adult night. So if you don't have kids, you're looking for something to do, you want to ditch the kids, live music, even a magic show apparently aimed at adults, Jack-O-Lantern Spectacular at the zoo.
Fair enough. Okay.
I mean, these things are like works of art.
Yeah, they are.
It is insane. It will blow your mind about how intricate a lot of these pumpkins are. So, yeah, game on.
I haven't brought it up sooner because I just assume everybody knows about it, but not everybody, I don't think, knows about the adult night. So tonight's the night.
Very good.
Buckingham Palace said yesterday King Charles III has stripped his younger brother, Prince Andrew, of all titles, honors, and is evicting him from his royal residence.
Wow.
The announcement comes amid renewed scrutiny over Andrew's relationship with late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and resurfaced allegations of abuse. This comes with massive consequences for Andrew, as he'll be forced to move from the Royal Lodge to the family's private 20,000-acre estate. I don't know how he's going to be able to cope with that.
God, and all this after only decades of all the evidence anyone needed to know that he's a piece of dreck.
Yeah, that's quite the sentence. 20,000-acre estate. I don't know how he's going to be able to overcome that. But about 24 Minnesota high schools are left scrambling to figure out where they'll hold graduations this spring after the University of Minnesota abruptly canceled ceremonies at Mariucci Arena. The university said it's too expensive to host the events. Senator Michael Cruin, who represents the North Metro, citing the timing of the decision, has asked the U of M to delay the decision until next year. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I would think
Like
you'd
right
want to give someone a year's heads up. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not like high school administrators don't have enough on their plate as it is.
And there are other solutions, but you got to give them time. Everything's going to be booked up. Some of these schools probably can't have it on their premises.
Right.
So anyway,
Yeah, fair enough. Well,
see
you know
what
what?
happens.
If kids, listen. Just don't even go to school. Well, that's our advice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't count on anything. Just go get a job. Just jump in there.
Drop out. Screw that graduation.
Yeah.
NASA's X-59 aircraft completed its first flight over the Southern California desert, aiming to travel at the speed of sound quietly. The X-59's design aims to reduce the impact of sonic booms by mounting the engine on top of the aircraft. It's just that easy. It minimizes the noise reaching the ground, apparently. NASA and Lockheed Martin will continue testing the X-59's in-flight capabilities, including its supersonic flights, to measure its sound signature and conduct community acceptance testing.
What?
Commercial supersonic flights could significantly reduce air travel, reduce travel time, obviously, with the X-59 potentially enabling a 3-hour trip from London to New York City at a maximum speed of 1,345 miles per hour.
All right.
Boy,
It's a lot to unpack right there.
Yeah, it is.
Aren't you missing the whole point of traveling that fast if you don't get the sonic boom?
Thank
is it
you.
even worth it? Don't you want the sonic boom?
Not if I'm on the ground trying to sleep.
I've heard
I
one.
can sleep through anything.
I've heard one. I've heard a
you.
sonic boom before.
It's loud.
It was from a space shuttle.
Okay.
In California. And it is that thing where everybody walks outside to say goodbye to your neighbors because it sounds like the world's about to end. It's like, what? That was one plane, or in this case, shuttle. Like, that's one vehicle makes that much noise. It is kind of alarming, to say the very least.
It's unsettling, is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've heard a baby boom, they called it. We had a pretty extraordinary air show at Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha when I lived down there, and they had some pretty incredible planes. And they had one that it wasn't a full-blown sonic boom, but it sounded like somebody just dropped a bomb on the place.
Yeah, well, but the Concorde, we had the Concorde, then we got rid of it. We decided it wasn't worth. So this is a plane they're developing in the hopes of getting, like, correct me if I'm wrong, like Concorde 2.0. They're trying to get, like you said, transatlantic travel for people again. I just don't know that it's really that important. This is NASA's doing all this. That's like, I don't know, 6 hours from New York to London. That's fast enough. Is it not
the end of the world? No.
Is it not? Do we really need to get there in 3? Come on.
But if we can get there in 3, then we can do more flights a day and we can make more money. Sorry, did I just ruin it all?
Yeah.
The Stray Cats have, let's just take it from there down even more. The Stray Cats have canceled their 2025 tour due to a serious illness affecting frontman Brian Setzer, who I didn't know lives here.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Brian issued a statement on Wednesday. I'm heartbroken to share due to serious illness. I am unable to perform and very regrettably have to cancel our Stray Cats tour. I've been trying everything I can do to go on and do these shows, but it is just not possible. Setzer was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease earlier this year that has left him unable to play guitar. And on top of that, the band just released a double single, Stampede and Teenage Heaven, their first music in 6 years. So I say, just as a show of support, go grab those songs and stream them.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
It really is.
I saw the Stray Cats once in 1985, might have been 86. They were opening for Elvis Costello, and I walked in there going, just get them on, get them off, give me Elvis. I could not have cared less. And they walked out and completely blew the roof off the joint. And when they ended, I was so sad that it was over. And that show has remained on my top 10 gigs I've ever seen list from that day. It is 100% one of the greatest gigs I've ever seen. And Elvis was just fine.
Yeah.
But after about 12 Elvis songs, I was like, man, bring those guys back up. Those guys with the tattoos, because back then it was like, whoa, look at that. Yeah, that is a banger of a band, and he is, Brian Setzer's as good as it gets, man. I'm sorry to hear he's having a rough time.
Yeah, he's loaded with, I mean, the live show. I've seen the Brian Setzer Orchestra, which isn't quite the same, but, similar sound. He's just so charismatic, and they're all such good players that it was fascinating to watch, because I, too, was very indifferent, but was blown away. Yep. A new poll asked, how much did you spend on Halloween this year, including treats, costumes, and all the festivities? With everything being absurdly expensive, a lot of people said they're cutting back this year. 73% are spending less than $50. 22% said less than $25, including 32% who said nothing.
Oh.
I've got 13 and 9-year-olds.
Wow.
I was over $100.
Kids.
Yeah. I was over 100 and we didn't even buy candy. So
you didn't buy candy?
No, we will have a dark house because we're off trick-or-treating. I don't have time to hand out candy.
I mean, listen, man, you got to do what you got to do, but that blows my mind. I don't know how that you're just waiting to be egged. And when I was, of course, I'm going back to the 70s. When I was a kid, a dark house was just an invitation for malfeasance. Do you not suffer the consequences of this decision?
I have not. Not yet.
Kids today, so well behaved.
The house that we're in, though, we've got kids next door, but there aren't a lot in our neighborhood because we're in an older neighborhood. So I think most of the people have kids that have since moved out.
Okay.
And so it's not that big of a deal. In fact, we go to a different neighborhood to trick or treat because there's just not that much going on in our neighborhood. So I think that's why we get away with it.
All right, that checks out.
The family of late Colts owner Jim Irsay plans to auction off the majority of his expansive collection of guitars and rock memorabilia, which includes instruments owned by the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Prince, Kurt Cobain, and Eric Clapton, as well as Muhammad Ali's championship belt and Secretariat's saddle. The Irsay family said in a statement, quote, "Our dad was a passionate collector, driven not by possession, but by a profound appreciation for the beauty, history, and cultural resonance of the items he curated. A portion of the proceeds from the auction will be donated to charity."
My dad was a passionate man for these items, not for the value. We, however, see it very differently.
Right.
We're just going to cash out.
Yeah.
By the way, a portion of the proceeds. I don't know. How do you honor your dad's collection, which, by the way, goes way beyond just musical instruments? I mean, there's handwritten letters from Hunter S. Thompson, Declaration of Independence, original copy. There's so much stuff in that entire collection.
Yeah.
Jim Irsay was offered a flat fee for the whole thing, $1 billion cash, and he turned it down.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, here you go. Thanks, Dad. You were cool.
Steve, which one of those items are you going to put on your Howl Owl Howl show on Monday? Because you're playing Indy, right?
That's right. Yeah, the first gig's Indy, and
yes.
I have some people who at one time were associated with the Colts. So maybe we can go grab a George Harrison guitar and just borrow it for the day.
That would be fun.
Sure.
Probably not a chance in hell that's going to happen, but hey, it's fun to think about.
Yeah, borrow it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Check it out like a library book. Yeah.
Let's talk sports briefly because, my goodness, the Wild last night. Hey, for the first time in 6 games, they scored first. Woo! Great. Got on the board against the Penguins, and man, it just felt awesome. Throughout the whole first period, as Coach John Hines said, we were the better team.
Yeah.
And then he followed that up by saying, and they were the better team in the second and the third, and that math doesn't work for us.
No.
A 4-1 final score, Pittsburgh over the Wild. They have had one victory in their past 9 games. That came on October 20th in New York against the Rangers. 6-game homestand. We have now not won any of the first 4. We have the Canucks on Saturday. Let's go. Come on, just one. The journey of 1,000 wins starts with 1 win. So just anything, guys, anytime now. Let's go.
Yeah, I've heard that one of their team goals this year was to be the first team to 20 wins.
Okay.
They got a whole lot of work to do if they're gonna do that.
They're gonna have to shut down some other teams' schedules if they're gonna do that.
Yeah, pretty much. God, I felt so good last night too. I watched the first period.
Yeah.
They outshot them 13-6. They're up 1-0. I had to get to bed. I was like, I felt good. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, you did.
They might get a win. Yeah, and then
Sure.
I wake up to that. Holy hell.
Last night on Thursday Night Football, Lamar Jackson returned to the Baltimore Ravens. First time in a month, 4 touchdown passes, 28-6 win over the Dolphins. Not a bad game for a guy coming off a hamstring injury. He was 18 of 23. I'm going to just mention this, or the reason I'm mentioning it is because I'm looking at the Baltimore Ravens, who are suddenly terrifying again, and their schedule next Sunday. Oh, they're here, U.S. Bank Stadium.
Oh, good.
Great. Glad Lamar got that rust off against the Dolphins so he could come in here and ride roughshod over the Vikings after we go to Detroit on Sunday. Timberwolves are in Charlotte. They play the Hornets tomorrow at 5 p.m. Spring Valley.
Yeah, Spring Valley.
Come on, Spring Valley. Let's get it on.
Mm-hmm.
Trick-or-treating delight.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Happy Halloween. It is Friday, October the 31st. When the kids were younger, went to a friend's house. It was not Halloween. That was always like our house because we lived in a Halloween neighborhood. But the night before, which was a Saturday night, there was a big Halloween soiree. Some friends had it. It was adults and kids. A big Saturday night Halloween bash. And I walked into the kitchen, and they had severed fingers made out of cheese sticks.
Sure.
Oh, nice.
But I mean, they looked like I was completely like, wait, what am I looking at? Just took some basic old, whitish cheese sticks and somehow fashioned fingernails on them and the little wrinkles on your. I mean, they look like severed fingers.
Really?
Oh, for real.
The carving and everything.
Such discipline and craftsmanship went into the severed fingers of those yummy cheese sticks that I used to borrow from my children all the time. Hey, can I borrow your cheese stick? And they go, no, Dad. But these were amazing, and I've always said if I cared enough, I would make some of those myself. But anyway, I'm just thinking of that. It's Halloween. There's going to be a lot of get-togethers. A lot of eating, a lot of drinking. Are there any staples? Do you make a witch's brew, Ryder? When you think of like I'm picturing like a big cast iron pot over over a flame, a
Of
cauldron,
course.
if you will.
Got to throw some Eye of Newt in there.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
game
yeah.
on. No, like I think I'm a pretty good cook, but I'm not the kind of person who cooks for the eyeballs. So the only thing I can really do is try and dye all the food black, and then you got to use like squid ink, and that crap's expensive.
Right.
So no, I think the Mars Candy Company and the Hershey Candy Company have kind of perfected the Halloween food thing in my world.
Beautiful. Fletcher, you still have Halloween trick-or-treating age kids. Do you guys whip up any special concoctions?
I mean, this year we won't, but in the past we've hosted parties, and
Sure.
there were all kinds of stuff. I think my favorite was brie guts. So you take brie cheese and then wrap it in pastry to look like skeleton bones.
Yeah.
And so it's like the midsection, the torso of a skeleton, but there's brie inside.
Yeah.
Delicious gooey brie inside of
Yeah.
the skeleton guts.
Always
yeah.
a good thing. There's
Yeah, buddy.
there's also the that reminded me of the hand. You get like a ham and cheese board. You just get some big chunks of cheese and you line them up to look like a hand, and then you lay slices of Italian meats over it, so it just looks like a rotting hand. I'm probably not describing that too well, but I've seen that
picture
one
it.
too, and
Yeah,
it's
I can
just
see
like, yeah, but you know what? I'm a sucker for Italian thin sliced meats, so I don't care what it looks like.
Absolutely.
Always going to be good with that. Simple. We were talking 651-989-ROCK. That's the Luther Westside Volkswagen talk and text line. Give us some of yours. But there's a photo that you just shared. This is the Ed Gein cake.
Oh. I didn't know that everybody was going to want to see that at 6:30 in the morning, so I just shared it with you two, but we'll put it up on the socials.
Oh, my word. I mean, this is a cake. Of course, now anything can be a cake. I walk into the studio some days and think, is this microphone going to be a cake when I try to speak into it?
Right.
Because you see those videos where everything is cake. But the Ed Gein cake, I mean, it just looks like it's just a bunch of animated, purposed. It just looks like some fleshy bits have been sewn back on, and I see a nipple.
It looks like Frankenstein's head. Is
Very
what it looks like.
does.
prominent nipple.
Yeah.
Man. That is
a nipple, isn't it?
That is somebody. That is someone using a true skill set for all the right reasons, right there.
Oh yeah, it's I don't think I could eat that thing though. That looks.
Oh, it's too pretty.
I don't have.
That's one word for it.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people that has ever, and I have several friends who are not at all chefs. I would call them cooks, but there are people who just have such an innate understanding of how to make things better. I have friends that walk into my kitchen and I go, "We don't have any food," and they go, "Yeah, you do," and then they just make a meal, and I'm like, "Where did this come from?"
Nailed it.
I don't have any idea how to do that kind of stuff, but for people that do, I'm a little envious. To me, just putting ketchup on scrambled eggs and stirring it around, that'd be like, look at those brains. I mean, that's about as far as I could take it. And when I was a kid, I would ketchup my scrambled eggs.
Oh,
and of course,
come on.
much to the
No.
it didn't go over well in the household. Let me just put it that
I
way. But
understand.
there was
to
a
get beat
while,
up.
because one of the first things I learned to make was scrambled eggs. It's hard to screw that up. And I just started adding ketchup, and of course it would be like, oh, look what I found. Now, it wasn't quite the same, is that a chicken breast or is a brain story from earlier this week, but yeah, I would have fun with it, but that's as far as I could take it. But the Ed Gein cake, man, that is impressive.
Damn straight.
Yeah, that thing is it's a bit too realistic. There's even little spots where you see the end ties of stitches sticking up out of the fondant. Ugh.
Oh, I thought that was hair. I thought there was some hair still sticking up
that
there.
could be hair or it could be pieces of stitch. I don't even know. Either way, it's gross.
All right, 651-989-ROCK. What's your specialty, food and or drink? And by the way, if you only serve it in a specific costume, that's important to know as well. What are we bringing to the party? What are the specialties? I'm curious because I for so many years with younger kids, it's just kind of an afterthought. But now I'm realizing, hang on, I'm really missing out on this. This is a great night, and I should probably get back into it. And I should probably, I don't know, maybe dress like a monk. Why not?
You should. For sure.
Something simple, a big robe. I can just throw it on over whatever. Don't have to put too much thought into it.
You and the bandmates can have your own little Halloween party tonight.
Ooh, yeah. My former rock and roll combo, the Black Crowes, used to have Halloween gigs. We would open for ourselves as another band.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, 2005 we were BCDC, like Black Crowes. See, BCDC, and did a set of AC/DC songs. All of us dressed as Angus, 6 Angus Youngs on stage.
That's great.
Everybody had the exact same Angus Young costume.
Okay.
And then it was just, let's see, Rock and Roll Damnation, Highway to Hell, Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be.
Oh,
all the spooky, all the hell content, which was just fantastic. And then the next year we were the Bitch Boys doing a set of Beach Boys songs.
Okay.
The Bitch Boys.
Okay, I like that.
Great.
And it was just all like Dockers and like skipper caps. And like not Hawaiian shirts, but just casual
Beachy
boat
shirts.
wear.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, as the drummer, Dennis Wilson, I was soaking wet and covered in seaweed because, of course, he drowned. Which
Well
didn't
done.
bother people. And I
very
was
dark.
like, it's Halloween. That's
Yeah,
what we're
no.
supposed to do.
I'm a diehard Beach Boys fan back to when I was 3 years old, and I
Right.
think that's hilarious.
Yeah. I think Dennis would have appreciated it.
Hell yeah.
And by the way, I sang lead that night on a song.
Wow.
Oh, yeah?
Because Dennis used to come out from behind the kit and sing the song "You Are So Beautiful," the Joe Cocker. You are.
Yes.
So I did that, soaking
Okay.
wet, covered in seaweed, and just butchered it like no one's business. But
I
hey,
mean,
it
you
was-
were a zombie. What were you gonna do?
exactly.
And you're the opening band. The opening band's never as good.
That's the whole point. You want to
Yeah.
really gear up the crowd to be that much more excited for the headliner, and I was
Yeah.
happy to do that. Very happy to do that. Let's get weird. Let's get creepy. Let's talk about paranormal experiences.
Hell yeah.
Most Americans say they've had at least one in their life, and that could be anything from, just feeling an unexplained presence, or suddenly seeing, smelling things, seeing a shadow where there's no one there. Anything you got, 651-989-ROCK. We'd love to hear about it. Dan is on the horn, who's had a paranormal experience. Dan, good morning. What do you have for us?
Good morning. Early 2000s, I had a cabin in between two harbors in Ely on Highway 2. There was 40 acres there that was privately held. Other than that, it was all national park or forest and whatnot. Anyhow, about 2:30 in the morning, we were drinking around the campfire. My wife went to bed. I stayed up. Mm-hmm. And as I was sitting there poking the fire with a stick, I started to notice that my shadow got more and more pronounced. And I turned around to see this grayish green orb that was getting brighter and brighter. It almost looked like it was a spotlight or something. And then it shrunk and disappeared. I went running back into the cabin. I woke my wife up, told her what happened. I was shaking. I'd never been so freaked out. Got home, looked it up on the web. Other people had seen this. I have no idea what it was.
Oh.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
Ever been
nuts.
back?
Yeah, we had the cabin up there, but I never saw it again. No.
I mean, that's what I meant. So it's just the one time. Once is enough, I would imagine, yeah?
Yeah, it was an experience.
That's a pretty good one. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it. 651-989-ROCK is the number. The Fox Theater in Atlanta, Georgia. There's a bunch of Fox theaters around the country. Beautiful, ornate, old movie theaters, Broadway shows, used to travel, blah, blah, blah. A lot of concerts there. The one in Atlanta, rumored for years to be haunted. There's an old elevator operator that died, and people say the backstage elevator operates on its own.
Okay.
You'll always hear these little anecdotes. Playing there in the early 90s, my cousin Jeffrey worked for the band The Black Crowes, and he would actually get on stage in a Uncle Sam Crow outfit and dance at one point. It was part of the show, and he was in his little tiny dressing room getting ready to go on. And as he was putting the pants on, he had one foot through. He was kind of off balance, and he felt someone shove him from behind, pushed him forward, and he fell into the table.
Jerk.
And he turned around and there was no one there.
Really?
And he was always a bit of a knucklehead and a goof and would run a lot of shtick. And I kid you not, there was no color in his face. He was convinced. And to this day will tell you he was shoved by something that wasn't there.
but it was you.
Wow.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you?
No. He came out of this room where he was alone and was shook for day. He could not get over it. He was completely freaked out.
Man.
And, and I was like, well, maybe. I mean, he's the kind of guy who would usually run that shtick for a minute, but no, it's 30 years ago, and he'll still tell you right now. Oh, yeah, I got shoved.
Okay, one more time.
Wow.
So Fox Theater in Atlanta,
do
not go there. And I'm already pretty good about staying out of elevators because I got a weird thing. So,
Oh,
okay,
do you really?
on it. Yeah, it's like a being buried alive thing. It freaks me out.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So-
That's interesting.
Not a lot of high vantage points in your life then. You're not going to
No.
the top of buildings to get a look at the view.
Not if I don't have to. Walk up only for me.
Fair enough. 651-989-ROCK. Paul Fletcher, Paranormal, go.
Okay, so we lived, I grew up, pretty much lived my whole life here, but I spent 10 years in Omaha, bought my first house there, and when my wife and I got together and she started living with me, I don't know, this went on for months. Not every single night. And I want to preface this by saying I don't really typically believe this kind of stuff.
Okay.
But we had just off of our bedroom, we had a walk-in closet. And it was a good-sized closet. Every single night, or not every single night, but every time it happened right around the same time, 2:30-ish in the morning, we would stay up that late back then. Hangers move, crazy noises that can't be explained from the closet. And I would get up, go in there, turn the light on, and wave my hand through the entire, nothing there. But hangers legitimately moving and or clothes moving on the hangers and noises that could otherwise not be explained. And it would happen, I would say, once to twice per week for a while, and it went on for a couple months. Yeah, and it went on for a couple months.
You know, I just had a thought as I was imagining the story, the closet and the hangers moving and the noises. Imagine being Patrick Swayze in like 1991 and how you could mess with people so wonderfully after the movie Ghost came out.
Right.
He had a chance to mess with people all the time. Go to a friend's house, hide in their closet, wait till they're asleep, make the noise. They're like, is something in the closet? And it's Swayze after the movie Ghost. I mean, can you imagine if you'd gone in there and turned around, he's like, can you see me? You can actually see me? I mean, that would have been awesome. I hope he did that. You got to take advantage of those opportunities when you get a big hit movie about being a ghost.
I wish if he'd have been in my closet, we'd have gotten an awesome selfie for sure.
That's fantastic. Swayze in the closet.
Right?
Can you imagine?
Oh, we got a text from Wanda. Staying at a friend's house on the Northern California coast that used to be a hospital. Opened my eyes in the middle of the night, and a nurse was at the foot of the bed. Blinked, and she was gone. Friends confirmed that she roamed the house regularly.
Oh.
Well, you got to keep tabs, make sure people are feeling well.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one.
Katie says, I saw the ghost of our family cat stroll past my bedroom window about a month after she died. My room was on the second floor.
Fair enough. I like that.
Kitty
I
cat.
like that.
Hi, kitty cat.
651-989-ROCK on the talking text line, Paul.
We got to start with a joke from Brian the Neon Guy. What kind of pants do ghosts wear?
What kind?
Just a paranormal pants.
Oh, my God.
So good. I'm using that on my kids tonight for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning from Terry. My dad passed in 2015. He laid down 10 dimes for me. It took me a little bit to figure it out. Went to Sedona, walked the Peace Park, and was very grateful for him being my dad. Came home, no lie, 10 dimes in front of my washing machine. Made me laugh and then cry. P.S. My B-Day is the 10th of December.
Oh,
wow.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Wow.
10 dimes waiting for her when she got home. That's crazy.
Okay.
That is a little nuts.
That's tough to rationalize. But get your head around.
No, you know what? You just got to roll with it. Don't even think about it. That's okay.
Okay.
Happens.
Fair enough.
So let's get on with it. My new band, Howl Owl Howl, has a single that's out today. We're going to play it a little later. May even hear from another one of the band. We'll never, it's just a matter of does the alarm go off or not? Because only one of us is dumb enough to be up every morning at this time of day.
Right.
And you're listening to him. So we got that and a few other things to get into, of course.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Ryder, as already mentioned, I will be in Indianapolis Monday night for the first show of the Howl Owl Howl experience.
Yes.
It's time to uncork.
We've got 9 gigs over the next couple of weeks, and then we'll see what happens in 26. But, hey, this just in, our first single is available today. There's a lyric video, and the song is on all the streamers. You know, you got to be able to contact, you got to be able to hit up the internet if you want to hear this bad boy, or you could also just listen to KQRS, because you know what? We're sitting here right now going, hey, it's Friday, it's Halloween. Why don't we kick it off with a brand new song? We don't do that very often. But then again, you know, hey, I put a few people in a headlock, and this is how we're going to roll it. So the first song is called My Cologne.
It's not very often that we have a member of our show releasing a brand new song. So,
well, that's very true.
You know?
Ryder, you've been delaying your record for months now. We've been waiting for it.
I know. And we're going to have to wait longer.
I know.
It is not ready yet.
We're like the Beatles and Stones. We don't release at the same time because we don't want to, bump each other off the charts.
Right.
So the song is called My Cologne. Mike Mills, my bandmate in Howl Owl Howl, who is, of course, from REM, he noticed an advertisement, if you will. Ariana Grande, the pop star, has a line of colognes, or I should say perfumes. She has a fragrance that's called REM. Mm-hmm. And he saw that. And, of course, it was just kind of funny to him because I just always imagine Paul Rogers coming across a cologne called Bad Company and going, wait, what? Or Jimmy Page, Led Zeppelin cologne. So Mike's looking at this, and it's REM.
I'm slightly irritated. That is going to be stuck in my head all frickin' day. It is so catchy. I'm really not happy right now.
It is what they call an earworm.
It is.
By the way, just so you know, the whole behind-the-curtain thing, this is the way the conversation went. Mike goes, all right, this is going to sound nuts, but I got this idea, and I'm just got this, and I don't really know much about Ariana Grande, but I just think it's funny, and he explained the whole thing, and then when he sang it, I looked at him, he sang that chorus, sang the line once, and I went, okay, just stop. That is never going to leave my brain. It is the catchiest thing.
Oh, yeah.
And we just, it's so ridiculous. We were like, well, that has to be the first single. I mean, it just makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Game on.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a little rocker.
It is. It's a jam, I would say. It's a banger.
The rock and the roll. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that it is a rock song as promised and delivered. It's really great. I'm stoked about it. How do you feel, Steve, about hearing it on the radio? Because you've heard it obviously a million times putting the record together.
No, sitting here and keeping the headphones on and listening, it always sounds different on the radio. Anytime you hear a song for the first time, because there's just all the radio magic, and it's truly exciting.
Good.
Because it's like, that's so cool. You have this thing that you've heard a million times, but then I'm thinking about, other people are finally hearing this. And whether they like it or not, that's not my concern. It's their business. The idea that it's just out there. It's like anybody that is interested can go pick it up. It's not unlike the first time you see a record in a record store, your own record. Just like the first day my very first album was released, I was still working at a record store, and I was still putting it in the bins, which was a little bit of a letdown, actually, if I'm being honest. But it was like, I was just like, wow, this is going next to all these other records. Like, we're just one of those now. Like, this is the train we just got a ticket to. We're in the Bees. We're next to Bad Company and the Bee Gees and the Beatles and Beck or whoever. It's like, wow. And so that's that same feeling hearing My Cologne for the first time. Like, hey, right on, man. Like, we play a lot of really cool music on this station, and now we just played that, so it makes me feel great.
That's awesome. Yeah, and also, if they want to go to the record store, that's awesome. But I also just went into my phone, Apple Music, and I hit plus, and boom, now I've got it in my pocket.
Well, that's where you're going to find it. We'll see about, when we're going to release this thing physically. But right now, anywhere you stream music, anywhere you get music, and there is a lyric video on YouTube, which is pretty funny, too.
Yeah, it is.
So it's available wherever you want to go grab that bad boy.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
This is obvious. Howl yeah. I like that. Let's go with that from now on.
Put it on a shirt.
I just had the same thought. Could be.
Yeah, that should go on a shirt.
There will be T-shirts available. We may have to add to the list of the Howl Yeah shirt.
Wait,
might
I'm sorry.
Happen.
Time out. The tour starts on Monday, and you don't have any merch yet?
No, we do. There will be shirts available.
Okay,
but
good.
you need to add to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got. In fact, I think there's 2 that will be available.
Oh wow!
Because
really
why
going
not?
For it.
But yeah, but the Howl, yeah, I think that's just going to have to, at some point, we'll have to fold that one in.
That needs to be immediate, actually. I'd buy that right now. Absolutely. I'll tell you what.
I got a white T-shirt and a Sharpie, so give me 10 seconds and I will hook you up. Hey, by the way, my nephew, I have a nephew named Jeff Gorman. He's in a great band called Illiterate Light. And when they were starting out, they would go to whatever town they were playing in, and they would go to a Goodwill, and they would just buy like 15 T-shirts for 20 cents each, and then just with a Sharpie write Illiterate Light on them and sell them as merch.
Oh, no way.
And I was like, that is the most brilliant thing I've ever seen in my life.
Very cool.
And they would sll them for $2 and make money.
Right.
Like, it was like,
for sure.
It's like, man, there's some good DIY tricks right there for you.
We got a couple of texts about the song.
Let's hear them.
Oh, boy.
Hey, Steve, like the song, when is Howl Owl Howl going to play local here in Minneapolis? That's from Michelle.
That's a fine question. I don't know, but I guarantee you'll know as soon as I do.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be spouting off about that one as soon as we get a gig booked.
We've talked about this band quite a bit over the last few weeks, months, but this just goes to show that we still need to educate. Ray is asking, great sound, Steve. Is that Darius Rucker?
It is Darius Rucker. Go figure.
Yeah. Who else is in the band?
Well, that would be Darius Rucker singing, and then Mike Mills also singing on that one, the second verse, and the backups on the chorus. Mike Mills from REM. It's just three dudes who for years have said, man, we should do something. And then finally got around to it, and then we actually liked it, and we thought, hey, let's share this with the good people. And here we are.
And the good people appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
It sounds great.
It really does.
Thank you, guys.
It really does. And you know what? This is an incredibly cool moment for you, especially having this show and getting to play the music on this station. But you know what? I got to be a little selfish for Ryder and I. This is cool for us, too, man. This is like, there's no other radio show on the planet that's got somebody out on tour and releasing music. So it's pretty unique and pretty awesome. It's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah, game on.
Grab on, guys. Trust me. I'm glad to know that. If you had said to me, like, okay, enough already, I would have been like, yeah, I see your point.
No, it's fun. It's different. It's unique. Yeah, 100%. Hell no.
No, I'm really excited. I genuinely am, and I appreciate the fact that you guys are excited. And a couple weeks of touring right around the corner. I'm chomping at the bit. My God, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
So Monday morning, just so you know, I'll be in Indianapolis on Monday, and we'll be talking about it. And then Tuesday morning, after I've played a gig, I'll be in Chicago, and I'll be really tired.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that off the air, if that was really actually the plan, because it sounds horrible to me.
That's the plan, baby.
Okay.
Let's lay this out. So you're going to take the show on the road, essentially. We'll still be here, but you're going to go off. And you'll be each morning. You'll be in a different city doing it remote. Who knows how it's going to. It's going to be a blast, but it's going to be fun because, like I said, nobody else is doing this.
I know, and if I had only done this 30 years ago when I had that kind of energy, it would have been real easy. But we're going to all find out together just how insane I think I am I thought it would be to do this, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Are you listening to that one and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have done that drum part so fast? Because you're going to have to play this song a lot over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, it's a little quicker than the average one. No, you know what? We had that song figured out. I think we tracked it once. Like we played it once, and it was like, yeah, that was good, because you never know if you're going to keep it. You just want to build it up, and then we never went back and fixed it. And it's one of those where I was like, well, I hope that drum track's good. It kind of sounded good at the time. You just never really know how these things go. But the coolest part of that to me is Darius and Mike singing together. That's REM had such a signature sound. Darius's voice clearly pretty iconic, but the two of them together, pretty awesome. And I believe Darius, as we speak, is on the horn. Darius, good morning, brother. We've been blasting the song all morning on the radio.
Hell yeah, we have.
Well, I hope you get some good feedback.
we are getting some good feedback. And I was just saying, you and Mike singing together, it's still something I get so excited about. Two voices that mean a lot to a lot of people. But it's really, it's shocking how easily the two of you guys clicked when we started ranking this record.
Oh, dude, I remember when we first started playing it, started writing the songs, and we were doing one of the songs, and I put my vocal down and went home that night. I came back, and Mike had put the background vocal on. The first time I heard it, the chills, every hair on my body stood up.
Yeah.
Because his backgrounds are so iconic. It's not just that. Let's forget the rest of the world. For me, as music loving person who grew up listening to music. His background vocals were so iconic. And now when I hear us singing together, man, I just can't help but smile.
No, I'm not too cool at all to say, and Darius won't mind when every time Mike's singing, we always look at each other like, damn. There it is. There's that voice we used to listen to all the time and love. It's been really exciting.
It's been awesome. There's the moments for me and you where we just look at each other and we want to pinch each other. Yeah. This is really happening, man.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I think probably the first conversation you and I ever had probably was about REM and something to do with sports, I would imagine.
Yeah. It's just so funny. There's a story. We have this one song on the record, and Mike Mills had played it for Michael Stipe. And Mike had this great idea of just switching two lines that we had.
Yeah.
And me and Steve and I are sitting in the studio, and Mike said, Mills was like, I was playing this for Stipe, and he thought we should just switch these two lyrics. And Steve and I look at each other like we were about to lose it. You were talking about the Stipe about the song I
We were like, wait, he suggested we switch the lyric, and of course made it better. It made sense, and we're like,
yeah, it did make the song better.
Hey, good. It's a good counsel to seek. Stipe said that. Cool. Yeah, we were good. We were good with that.
Exactly.
No rest for the weary, man. You're just off the bounce. You just finished up some Canadian dates. We got a big weekend ahead, and then we kick it off Monday night. I got to tell you, man, I am jacked about these shows.
Oh, me too, man. You have no idea how excited I am about these shows, man. I've been learning the guitar parts. And sitting around, I was like, man, this is going to be so much fun. Yeah. And I love it. We're starting, up north, and we're going to head down south where we're all from. It's going to be a great 2 weeks.
Yeah, it really is. We're playing the song like every hour here. We have, FYI, very good feedback on the text line. People are checking it out.
Yeah.
And the lyric video's up online. My texts have been blowing up for the last couple hours since people started seeing it. So, one out of the bag, and we're feeling pretty good about it.
I'll take it. I was feeling pretty good about it after our first session.
Yeah.
So after 4 years of making this record, I'm glad we're finally getting it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I always say, the best time to have a great idea is 5 years ago. So here we go. Real quick, man, and I first of all, I appreciate you getting up so early. But secondly, we were talking about this earlier, and I imagine you feel the same way I do. It never gets old at all. In fact, the older I get, it's cooler hearing your song on the radio, like for the first time. It still feels like the first time I ever heard a song on the radio.
Oh, absolutely. And as you get older, it's better. Like I remember the first time I heard Hootie on the radio. I think Dean and I were riding together, and we turned the channel. Like right now, if my song comes on the radio, we turn the channel. And now if a song comes on the radio, I'm turning it up.
Yeah. Everyone always says, like, how does this compare? I'm like, what are you kidding? Everything that happens is the best it's ever been after a certain point, and I'm happy to be there, man. That's awesome.
Exactly,
all right, well, I'll check you in a little bit, man. Thanks for calling in, and we'll be checking. I'll be on the road doing this show every morning. So if you find yourself up too early, we'll get you back on.
Absolutely, man. Looking forward to it. See you in a little while.
See you in a bit, brother.
Later, Steve.
Thank you.
We'll always take Darius for sure. That's great. It's like you guys are kids. It's pretty funny. And it's pretty awesome.
I will say, and I'm gonna shine Darius for a second because people always say, like, man, what's he like? He is Hootie and the Blowfish have the 10th biggest selling album in American chart history.
Yeah,
right. Ever. And then as a country artist, as a solo artist, he just finished playing. He was at the O2 in London last month. He just did a Canadian arena tour. I mean, he is a ginormous star in his own right. And everyone's always like, man, what's he like? And I say this sincerely about him more than anyone else I've ever met. He's the exact same dude I met 35 years ago. It's like nothing has ever fazed him. He's just like, and that's a very genuine, you can hear it. That dude has got no airs about him. He's like, oh, I'm on the radio now. I turn it up. Yeah. I mean, he means that.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing I would say that I didn't want to embarrass him while he was here, but he's talking about how iconic Mike Mills' voice is. And I'm kind of like sitting here thinking like, hey, Darius, your voice is fairly iconic as well. I'm not selling Mike Mills short. I get that, you know what I mean? He's an icon. He's a legend. But Darius's voice is about as iconic as it gets.
Darius and I are the same age. We were college kids at the same time, different schools, but we were, both obsessed with REM in the 80s.
For sure.
The REM that blew up in the 90s and took over the world, that was not, I mean, I liked those records, but I was doing my own thing then.
Sure.
But as a high school junior, right before my senior year, the first time I saw them in a club. And then their first album came out when I was a senior in high school. And then those 80s years, my high school and college years, that's the REM that was I've said this, I play drums because of that band.
Yeah, 100%.
They didn't make me a music fan, but they made me, I have to go do that. I have to be in a band. And that was the common thread that Hootie and the Blowfish had. Every college kid in the South in 1984 went out and bought a guitar because they saw REM. And so we just have that common thing. And it really is still, obviously, when I'm sitting around with Mike, he's just a dude at this point. We've known each other forever. But every now and again, like we're playing a couple REM songs. And when we play them, we're just like, yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, it does put me right back at 20-year-old Steve going, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, definitely not selling the legendary status of REM short. I was saying it kind of speaks to Darius's humble nature, you know what I mean? To not even mention that. So I love Howl Yeah. I'm just going to keep saying Howl Yeah all the time.
Howl Yeah, man. Howl yeah.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Have you got one of those neighbors that goes a little over the top with the decorations? We've all got at least one, if not an adjacent right across the street, somewhere down the road. There's always one guy that you're like, wow, you really put some thought into this, huh? And I have noticed several, I've never seen these until this year, that like 15-foot tall skeleton.
Oh, yes. I love a big
those?
Skeleton, yeah.
I've never seen those, and now I've seen a bunch of them. I'm like, where in the world are you buying the 15-foot tall skeleton?
The internet.
Menards.
Or the
Is that it, Menards?
Sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. They've got a big one that you can just put, it's just like the torso coming out of your ground or whatever. Yeah. That's probably about 6 feet high. That's pretty cool.
Our neighbors down the street, a friend of our youngest, has the 15-foot tall skeleton. And it's like, it's the feet, the whole thing. And it's at least 15 feet.
Yeah, it's pretty outstanding.
Yeah, it is.
But at the same time, I'm thinking like, my kids, we talked to them a lot about Halloween. We had a big Halloween neighborhood, and we always made sure that they know, like, this is all just silly. None of this stuff is real.
Right.
But there was one neighbor that they would the whole house, the whole yard was decorated, and they would be in costume on their front porch every year. The whole family. It was a husband and a wife and like 3 kids, and the kids were like teenagers, and they weren't at all too cool. They weren't like, no, we're not doing it, Mom and Dad. They were bought in.
All right.
And they would every year it'd be like a different set of characters, and it would look like you'd walk into what it just looked like a murder had just happened, and it was like spooky noises, and I was always like, okay, this is taking this a little too far, honestly. Like, because I'm telling my kids, like, okay, that jack-o'-lantern's not real, and there's no such thing as witches, but then they see human beings that look like they just got massacred on the porch, and it's all in good fun. And I'm like, man, okay, fair enough.
Right?
Maybe put up a disclaimer. I don't know. I hate to be the dad without the sense of humor, but it's easy to go over the top when you got little children walking around.
Yeah, the fake body bags are a little over the line sometimes.
It's exactly right. That's kind of the way I felt. And then of course, what about haunted houses, like actual haunted houses that adults go to? My son, when he was 12 or 13, was like, Dad, we got to go to the Torture Factory. I'm like, what is that? It's a haunted house. It's famous. It's blah, blah, blah. And we were in Tennessee. This is about 20, 30 miles south of Nashville. And we went to some very small town, and they had a place called the Torture Factory. And you had to sign many waivers to go into this place.
No,
that's
thanks.
how you know it's going to be good.
And there were, honest to God, chainsaws involved. Now, they didn't have chains on them, but you can't tell that.
Yeah.
In the night. It's the engine's raging, and a guy's chasing you. And there were so many setups. And then the year after I took my son and his friend, the next year there was a petition that 30,000 people signed begging this to be shut down by the state because so many people had been traumatized and even injured. And you signed the waiver thinking whatever, but someone shoves you down a couple of stairs and you can't sue them because you signed it away. It was insane.
Well, and they probably injured themselves out of panic.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. People were really freaking out. When we were walking through it, I'm like, okay, and I'm telling myself, just people are going to jump out at you. It's fine. I didn't want to shriek in front of my son and his friend. I didn't want to do that thing where my voice jumps up an octave when I'm actually startled, because it does. If you really scare me, I'll go straight to da. I mean, it'll get up there. And I didn't want that to happen. But I kept that down. But while we were in there, we were hearing people scream, and it wasn't like characters, of which there were many, fake screams. It was genuine. People were terrified for real. And I was like, man, this is a bit much. I'm all for fun and games and spooky stuff for a minute, but yeah, whatever my line was, I crossed it pretty early that night.
What did your kids think, or what did your kid, son and friend think?
They were the perfect age to they weren't too cool to not admit they were scared, but they definitely, on the drive home, were talking about anything other than what they had just experienced. And then probably 3 days later, Connell was like, hey, I'm still kind of really freaked out about that. Like he fought it really hard and then eventually had to come clean. I was like, hey, bud, no worries. The only haunted house I went to as a kid was like at the YMCA.
Right.
And it was like, hey, there's Mr. Connor as Frankenstein. I mean, it wasn't really very scary. Although I did really get into trouble at that haunted house. We went several years in a row. There was a room where you walked into the room. I was probably 5 or 6, maybe even 7.
Okay.
I would hope by 8 I wouldn't be this dumb. But there was Count Dracula in his coffin.
Yeah.
Just laid out.
Yeah.
This is an adult man laying down, full costume. And as I walked up, his mouth is open so you can see his teeth. He had the Dracula teeth in there. So he left his mouth open while he's apparently, what do bats do? He's not hibernating. He's just asleep.
Yeah.
And I'm staring at this guy, and I'm like, I can't see him breathing. He's not flinching. And I was like, is this a person or is this a mannequin? I couldn't tell.
Right.
So I fished a nickel out of my pocket and dropped it in his mouth. A live human being laying in a casket on his back, mouth open so I can see his fangs, and I dropped a nickel into his mouth, which went straight into his throat. And that guy sat up, like choking, gagging on a nickel, which you can only imagine how nasty a 5-cent piece in my 7-year-old pocket would have been. And he spat it out, and he was so freaked out, and he sat up and he jumped out of the costume, like climbed out, and he stood there and he just looked at me, and I was like, so sorry, and he didn't know what to do. And I mean, he wanted to like pick me up and throw me through a wall, but what he did, he just picked me up and he just looked at me, like put his arms under my shoulders. So yeah, I was probably 5 now that I'm thinking about it, but I remember it so clearly. He picked me up and he just stared at me, never said a word, and I was freaking out. And then my brother Jim walked in. He goes, "Hey, put him down." And then the guy just put me down, and I ran like hell out of there.
I don't doubt it.
And then, of course, had to admit later, like, well, I don't know. I mean, he was just, I did drop a nickel down his mouth. And my brother's like, wait, what? He's like, I would have told him to keep you up there then, you idiot. These things happen.
That's great.
What do you got? 651-989-ROCK. What's the scary neighbor weird stuff you're dealing with this year? I got to share a couple of fantastic Halloween posts I've seen online.
Lay it on, babe.
Bring it.
Here's one. This is on X. I have felt uncomfortable before, but never like this. We were just past, this is actually from a year ago, but it still holds up because it was on Halloween a year ago. We were just passed by a slow-moving hearse and funeral cars. My son is dressed as the Grim Reaper. He waved.
Oh, yes. I like this.
That's great. Here's another good one. My favorite aspect of Halloween is the playlists, where people clearly add songs like Zombie by the Cranberries because of the name alone.
Yeah.
So you're at a party, and it goes Monster Mash, Rocky Horror, a beautiful elegy about intergenerational trauma of English violence against Ireland, then Thriller.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah, nailed it.
All right, one last one.
Okay.
It's not a party song.
Honestly, I will never be able to top the year that I told everyone I was going to be Amelia Earhart for the Halloween party and then didn't show up.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
That's
Genius.
That's gold. That's a good. Everybody out there, just think about who you want to be that never made it, and that's who you're going to be for the Halloween party you don't want to attend.
I like that.
That's a hot tip right there.
I like that a lot.
That's what they call a life hack. It is Friday, and it's time for the last word.
All right.
Of course,
Okay.
it's Mark Twain time.
Yeah.
Game on.
Nobody wraps up our week better. Mark Twain wrote, "Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. A broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things they cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all one's lifetime."
I'm glad
Wow.
you have this sentiment right now, but I'm doubtful that you're still going to have it in 2 weeks when you finish this tour.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. And with that in mind, I'm off to Indiana.
Oh, man. We do really need you to kidnap Daniel Jones
Okay, you know what?
and have him spend the 2 weeks with you and then come back here.
I mean, that's the sad thing. He was here. That's the part that just kills me.
I know there's a lot of talk about Sam Darnold, but this is the one that really got away.
Yeah, that's very true.
We could have one as the starter and one as the backup. Hey, hey, really quick, for those
Yes,
that
sir.
don't know, you're going to hit the road. We're still doing the show. So the next
Oh, yeah.
2-3 weeks, it's
No,
going to
no.
be you out on the road and Ryder and I here back at base camp. It's going to be fun.
Not as fun as 2 weeks off would have been, but okay.
Yeah. No
That's
kidding.
true.
You know what I am? I'm George Clooney in that space movie with Sandy Bullock. I'm just out floating around out there. You know, you guys are staying on the ISS, and I'm trying to get back, and I guess I will soon enough. But it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a blast.
So Monday morning, yes, I will be here on this show, but in Indiana. Also on Monday, Matt Serway is going to join us. We'll be discussing, the weather. Should we talk about the weather? The answer is yes, along with daylight saving time, which we've not even mentioned yet because we're all in denial.
I hit him up and I'm like, hey, do you have thoughts on this? And he immediately bounced back with, I can't stand it.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know anybody that does like it. We will be discussing that and plenty more on Monday. Fletcher, what's coming up next on this very radio station?
Some of the best rock and roll on the planet. Also got the text keyword for the Trans-Siberian Orchestra getaway. Remember, that's the one where you get to pick the city you go to. We're going to give you $1,000 to go with it. It's pretty awesome. A holiday little trip there. And then commercial free just after 11:45.
Gorman in the morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.